need to start a revolution in education now?
Our public schools are failing and urgently need our attention. I'm Carol Asa and this is Karen Taylor. We're two educators who have started a nonprofit corporation, The World of Possibilities, to remedy this situation.
We're producing a television series which will show 7 areas of education in dire need of revision. We'll also present realistic solutions, successful educational programs from across the nation, already in place, time-tested, and often free of cost.
These successful programs can be implemented in any state, in any school district. The public, you just need to know about them.
So the series will be broadcast on network television to a prearranged audience of parents, educators, and interested citizens, so they can see what is available and choose which programs they want for their schools. Then they can go to our website, research the programs, organize into action groups to choose, demand, and get the programs they want.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a national health crisis. So our first special, The School Food Revolution, will show how the public school lunch program needs to be reinvented. It's damaging our children's health. We've become a fast food nation, and the food we're eating is making us sick, fat, and killing us. Obesity is an epidemic in the United States. 65% of adults and 35% of children are obese, and 50% of American children are overweight. For the first time in history, children are getting adult diseases: high blood pressure, hardening of the arteries, heart disease, osteoporosis, and diabetes. At the present rate, 1 in 3 children born after the year 2000 will be diabetic by the time they graduate high school. 1 in 2 minorities. And for the first time in history, the current generation will die at a younger age than their parents. Why? Well, as a fast food nation, we're not preparing or cooking our food anymore. We're heating, microwaving, and eating foods which are highly processed fake foods, which are chemically created. And the daily beige school food reflects the very worst of our destructive eating habits.
The U.S. has a national public school lunch program. It was established after World War II, when so many recruits were unfit for service, and to guarantee that all American children would have nutritious lunches of fruits, vegetables, and whole grain cereals. The provisions for the 1946 school lunch program are 2 ounces of protein, 2 ounces of bread, 3/4 cup fruits or vegetables, and 8 ounces of milk. These meals were designed to provide 50% of a child's daily nutrition. Today, the lunches only have to provide 5% of daily nutrition.
As our food supply became more industrialized and more highly processed, corporations commandeered the surplus food supply and managed to take control of the school food program because it's so profitable. It's a $10 billion a year business. Schools have been buying commodities and processed foods subsidized by the government because they think they're cheaper and easier to buy than fresh local food. Today, many food directors are realizing that fresh local food is actually cheaper and better than canned commodities. For instance, a real whole peach costs only 8 cents, while a serving of canned peaches in high fructose syrup costs 14 cents, almost double.
Since 95% of our children eat 1 or 2 meals a day of this unhealthy school food, they're now fat and ill. Our military is again having problems finding recruits. About 75% of our youth are physically and/or mentally unfit. But Americans spend a fortune on public food each year, $10 billion. That provides 28 million meals a day at $2.68 per meal, but with transportation and costs, only $1 or less is spent on actual food. Some schools, like LAUSD, spend only 57 cents per meal, since they only have to provide 5% of daily nutrition.
There's a school food revolution emerging across America. For $10 billion, food directors are realizing there's plenty of money to provide good, healthy food for our schools.
My name is Tony Geraci. I'm a chef. I'm the food service director for the Baltimore City Public School System. And I'm here because my clients demand it. These are my clients behind me. I work for 85,000 kids. These guys use the U.S. Constitution to create a cafeteria Bill of Rights that simply demanded to have real food, fresh food, every day. They went to the school board. They brought the then current school lunches and said, you guys eat this, and nobody would eat them. And then they said, so what is your expectation then that we should eat this stuff? And because of that, the catalyst of change happened.
Across the nation, food directors are taking action. One nationally recognized expert, Barbara Stitt, of the Feingold program, after 35 years of experience, found that
we can't keep putting the hydrogenated fat. We can't keep putting the white sugar, white flour. We can't keep putting artificial coloring, artificial flavoring foods in our children's lives. It's destroying their health, it's destroying their ability to work up to their level, and it is destroying their ability to behave and remember.
These ingredients cause in children obesity, hyperactivity, ADHD, ADD, depression, anxiety, irritability, fatigue, lack of focus, food allergies, immune deficiencies, and serious diseases such as osteoporosis, heart disease, and diabetes. To remedy this situation, the renowned Feingold diet was introduced into Appleton, Wisconsin.
We started the food program approximately 3.5 years ago. One Friday, the kids were here. They had candy machines and pop machines in the student lounge. The following Monday, they came to school and they were greeted by water coolers and healthy bagels and energy drink for breakfast.
Healthy food has had more of an impact than we thought. We believed that it would help settle the kids down, which it has done, but I think we were surprised the impact it's had on academic learning.
I can't buy the argument that it's too costly for schools to provide good nutrition for their students. I found that one cost will reduce another. I don't have the vandalism. I don't have the litter. I don't have the need for high security.
We've cut $5 million out of our operational budget in the last 2 years.
Ann Cooper has established a great healthy food program in Berkeley, California.
I'm the Director of Nutrition Services for Berkeley Unified School District in Berkeley, California. I'm in charge of all the food in all the cafeterias, all the cooking classes and gardening classes. I have 90 employees in 17 locations, and we're in the process of transforming all of the food in Berkeley and really transforming children's relationship to food all across the school district. And now we make everything from scratch. We've really transitioned what we do. We're 25% organic. We have fresh fruits and vegetables at every meal. We have salad bars in every school, hormone and antibiotic-free dairy, only whole grain bread products, virtually no refined sugars, no refined flours. We're high fructose corn syrup and trans fat free. But good food just isn't enough in and of itself, so we really have to teach kids about food. So we have delicious, nutritious food in the cafeterias, hands-on experiential learning in cooking and gardening classes, and academic curriculum tied to their 4-5 science class, and really try and help them understand the symbiotic relationship between their health, the health of the planet, and the health of the future. We did a study, and the study showed that 80% of the parents and kids changed the way they ate, shopped, or cooked at home because of the food program in the school. We buy from local farms, River Dog and Full Belly specifically. I actually go to the farmers market every Tuesday and often on Thursdays and Saturdays as well. We buy from Veritable Vegetable for our organic food. We buy from green leaf produce for a lot of our other food.
Organic gardens are even being planted at the White House, governor's mansions, and at thousands of schools across the nation. Secretary of Agriculture for California, Kawamura, wants a school in every garden.
Today was a great example of how you can recognize that there's a school in every garden. We've been trying very hard to establish a garden in every school throughout the state, but the idea that you can do so much teaching and there's so much learning available when you link together garden-based learning with the needs of nutrition and eating a healthy meal, along with even your local economy, which here we are in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica, and there's a wonderful farmers market just down the street, and they've linked together all these elements to create better place for a kid to grow up, to thrive and learn how to live. And I think that's what this is all about as we continue to look for the partnerships that will help move our state forward in terms of our health and our ability to understand the world we live in.
The purpose of our School Food Revolution special is to present these successful food programs to you, the American people, so you can adopt the programs you want in your local schools. Incredibly, Tony Geraci, food director of Baltimore Schools, the 5th largest in the nation, implemented all of these programs in just 1 year.
This isn't rocket science. It's simple, it's basic, and it just makes good sense. We need to feed our students real food, not fake foods.
Here's what we need to do. Join together and go to your local Board of Education. Rewrite your wellness policy. Demand that your school serves real, healthy food. Second, go to our website to find resources and successful programs that you can replicate in your local district for little or no money. Third, at a federal level, demand an overhaul of the National Child Nutrition Act. It's up for renewal now and sets the standard for the next 5 years. Demand higher nutritional standards, more local, fresh, healthy foods, less cheap commodity foods, and an end to corporate involvement in our children's school food. This has been the introduction to our first education special, Healthy School Food. The other specials will be rigorous physical education, adequate school funding, enriching arts and vocational programs, supportive school environments, community-centered schools, and brain-compatible learning. We need to rescue and reinvent American public education now.
In conclusion, our children's health must be a national priority. The future of our children, our nation, and our world depends on it.